Attorney General Eric Schmitt gave the opening statements for the prosecution in a first-degree murder trial in St. Louis this week. The AG's office was asked to handle the case because of a conflict, but it's the first time he has helped with a case in court since becoming the state's Attorney General.
41-year-old Antonio Muldrew is on trial for the killing of a South St. Louis man.
Yeah, that convenience store clerk happened back in 2014. He is charged with first-degree murder, robbery, and assault. Russell KINSAUL in the courtroom when the judge announced that one of the jurors was AWOL. Russell, live for us downtown with more.
Yeah, that's right. Right now up on the 7th floor, there's an alternate juror in the jury box because one of the jurors just didn't show up this morning. Now, those jurors today heard from a cousin of the victim, and I continue to see there is tension between the defendant, Antonio Muldrew, and his public defender. 32-year-old Abdul Rauf Kadir was working at a convenience store at the corner of Chippewa and Louisiana in 2014. He was shot multiple times and killed during a robbery in July. Judge Michael Mullen gave permission for a camera to be in the courtroom during the trial, but Kadir's cousin asked that his picture not be taken while he testified. He said in court that Kadir was an Ethiopian refugee who came to St. Louis 8 months earlier and was making money to bring his wife and 2 children to the U.S. A crime scene technician who gathered evidence at the scene testified about processing the crime scene. When he gave the opening statements for the prosecution, Attorney General Eric Schmitt told jurors that the bullets that killed Kadir matched the guns found at Muldrew's girlfriend's apartment. And he also said the victim's blood was found on clothes that were also found at the apartment. The friction between Muldrew and his public defender, Sharon Turlington, was noticeable for a second day in court. Before the jury was brought in at the start of the day, Muldrew met with the judge and appeared to express frustration. Turlington also expressed frustration with Muldrew, who she said has an IQ of 70 and is like dealing with a first grader. Prosecutors initially planned to seek the death penalty, but because of Muldrew's diminished intellectual capacity, dropped those plans. Now, Muldrew's mental state is a big issue with his family. They don't think he should be on trial because they believe he's mentally incompetent. More on that, plus evidence presented this afternoon that may be the most critical evidence in the case. Both those coming up on News 4 at 6. Live downtown, Russell KINSAUL, News 4.